In this video, I'm going to be showing you a complete guide on how to build a voice AI agent for a law firm. I'm going to be showing you step by step on how to create this AI agent that's going to be able to create outbound calls when a lead submits a form, check availability within a calendar system, and then even go ahead and qualify and book the appointment all automatically 24/7. By the end of this video, you have a completely free AI blueprint of everything that I built in this video. So you can just go ahead and download it and use it and build it alongside me and implement it into your own business or for clients completely for free. And if you don't already know me, my name is Ashton. I've been helping businesses implement voice AI solutions to save time, cut cost, and drive growth. So without further ado, let's get right into the video and I'll show you a demo of this system. See right there, it's calling on, so let's pick it up. Hello?
Hi, Ashton Boss. This is Emily from Sunrise Legal. I'm just reaching out regarding the form you submitted about a family law matter. Is now a good time to speak?
Yeah, sure it is actually.
Thank you, Ashton. Just to confirm, you're inquiring about a family law matter. Could you please let me know if this is about divorce, custody, or support? Also, do you currently have a lawyer representing you, and are you located in Australia?
Yeah, so it'll be about divorce, and I don't have a lawyer representing me currently, and yes, I am in Australia, so.
Thank you for confirming, Ashton. Based on what you've shared, it sounds like we can definitely help you with your divorce matter. Would you like to schedule a free consultation? If you have a preferred day and time, please let me know and I'll check our availability for you.
Yeah, sure. Do you have any availability maybe tomorrow at around 11 a.m.?
Let me quickly check if we have an opening for you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Great news, Ashton. We do have availability tomorrow at 11 a.m. for a free consultation. Would you like to book this time? If so, could I please confirm your best email address for the booking?
Yeah, sure, no problem. So my email is just ashton123@gmail.com.
Thank you, Ashton. Just to confirm, I have you down for a free consultation for a family law matter, specifically regarding divorce, at 11 a.m. tomorrow, July 31st, under the name Ashton Voss, with the email ashton123@gmail.com. Is that all correct?
Yeah, that's correct, yeah.
Thank you, Ashton. I am booking you in for a free consultation for your divorce matter at 11 a.m. tomorrow, July 31st. Great, Ashton. I have you all booked in for your free consultation.
And we can see there, I just got a notification right there. So yeah, you can exactly see how useful this is for, law firms being able to call in leads as soon as they submit a form. So capturing that buyer's intent as soon as possible and then calling that lead and then booking them into a scheduling appointment. So now let's jump into exactly how to build this system and voice AI agent. Okay, so we're going to be using three main softwares here to build this voice AI agent. So the first one is going to be a voice AI agent platform. In this case, we're going to be using Retell AI to create these AI agents. And then we're going to be using make.com to trigger an outbound call to this voice AI agent. And then finally, we're going to be using a calendar system known as cal.com as well. Just for the example in this demo, obviously for a real use case in a lawyer, we would integrate within their system. So those are the three main softwares we're going to be using. So let's dive right into the first part of the automation. So first of all, the first part of the automation is going to be a form. So as soon as someone submits the form, that's going to then trigger a call by make.com, which is then going to trigger an outbound call to Retell AI, which then allows us to start the conversation. So in this case, it really just could be any form. I'm using Go High Level to create this form. So if we jump into Go High Level here, this is what a form would look like in this case. And if we jump back over to automations, I can show you how it exactly connects to make.com via a webhook to then trigger an outbound call to the AI. So what's really good about this automation is not only that it will call leads back, instantly as soon as they make a form submission, but it can also customize the conversation using dynamic variables based on the form. So first of all, this is going to be the first workflow we're using in Go High Level. It's really simple. All it's doing, as soon as a form gets submitted and triggered, it's then going to go down this workflow and start it, and then send all that information from the form to a webhook. So I'll just show you what that looks like quickly. So essentially it's all it's saying is when the form is submitted, it's going to start this workflow, and then it's updating the contact field just making sure that that phone number is in raw format, so with the country code, so then it's obviously easier for make.com Retell AI to call that phone number. And then from there, we're sending a custom webhook to make. So in this case, it's a post webhook in this method, and then the webhook address is going to be this webhook node right here, or webhook module with inside make. So copying that address and then essentially pasting it right over to this URL right here. So essentially, each time that form is submitted, it's going to go right to this webhook address, and it's going to be sending that information via a JSON format. So again, as you saw on the form, it has the full name, the email, the phone number, the description of the situation. It's capturing that email and all those information methods by that form, and then it's sending it to webhook with this JSON format. And then from there, that allows us to create an outbound call using make.com. So again, making sure we have that webhook address inside here within high level, and yeah, it should be all good to go. Once that information is sent by webhook, as you can see, this is just the webhook that was just ran by the automation by Go High Level. So we can see this information is then getting sent to Make, which allows us to create an outbound or create a phone call module within inside Retell. So again, that information is coming in via that webhook, and then from there, it's just creating an outbound phone call, which is really simple. So again, it's the from number. Again, you will need to have a number set up within inside Retell, and all you need to do essentially for that is literally just go over to Retell to Twilio docs. And right here, it's going to show you exactly how to set up a number within Twilio. In this case, I use Twilio to set up all my numbers for myself and a lot of people I work with. So then again, we're going to be able to connect Twilio to then Retell. So this docs shows you exactly how to do it. Again, I'll leave it in the link in the description below, which will be able you to create a phone number and create these outbound calls. So again, that is the phone number that I'm going to be using in the video, and then the phone number, which is going to be myself right here, which is by these variables, which is that's my phone number right there. And then from there, these are some dynamic variables. So essentially what these mean is different variables that each time it's filled, it's then going to get processed and put into the LLM. So for example, as soon as that webhook comes in, the LLM and the voice AI agent can now respond to the lead and respond to the customer, as you saw in that first message in the demo, via their name right here, and then the reason for their scheduling call, obviously using the form and using the information that the client or customer filled out for the form. So that's essentially what we're doing, is two things. Again, creating the phone call and then giving the LLM and the voice AI agent those dynamic variables so it can customize that conversation, which is really important as well. So that's essentially how it's going to create a phone call and then capture that information via form. So establishing that connection and creating an outbound call. Then we have the voice AI agent platform, which is Retell in this case. So example, if you do want to make this agent, you're going to go ahead and go create an agent, voice AI agent, and then select single prompt agent, and then select a blank template. Now, I've already created this, of course, for everything. And then also, once you do have that phone number set up, again, just follow those docs. It's really simple. Once you purchase a number within Twilio, follow those docs, and then make sure you have a number right here. This is going to be your ID. And then make sure it's selected to an outbound call agent. In this case, it's just Outlaw agent, so we can see it's got all the different versions down here. So make sure your agent is attached to an outbound call agent. And then from there, once you've created the agent, it'll come into a little place like this, or a little dashboard like this, where we can create our AI agent. Now, I'll just quickly run you through the prompt, the tools, and all the different functions to be able to qualify the lead, check availability, and then book an appointment as well. So first of all, right here, I'm using GPT-4.1. So that's essentially the AI model, or LLM, we're using in this case. So you can see right here, they've got a bunch of different AI models with the prices per minute as well. And then we're also using an 11 Labs default voice as well, which is integrated within Retell AI. And then the language is going to be English. So that's all the voice features and AI model features that we're going to be using. And then from there, this is the system prompt. Now, before I get into that, I want to note the welcome message, which essentially is meaning the user speaks first. So because this is an outbound call, whenever someone's picking up the call, usually they'd say hello, and then the AI agent is going to initiate the conversation from there. So that is going to be the first message, or welcome message. Of course, you can customize this to AI speaks first. You can have, dynamic variables, all these different things. But just for now, we're using user speaks first. And then from there, this is going to be the system prompt that we have. So again, I'm using my prompting formula that I use for all my AI agents. So, defining the role, the goal, the task on hand, and then also an example conversation and some context, which is what I'll exactly get into right now. So first of all, the role of the AI agent. I said, you are Emily, a professional, empathetic, and efficient virtual assistant for a law firm called Sunrise Legal based in Brisbane, Australia, which is where I'm from. Your tone should be calm, clear, and reassuring. So letting the AI know how to act. In this case, it's professional, empathetic, and then how its tone should be throughout the conversation. And then is the goal. So stating for the AI and the voice agent its primary goal of the conversation, which in this case is to book customers that have inquired for an online consultation. You will follow this simple 5-step process to complete this conversation or this goal below. And then from there, I've just got the current time. This just helps the AI book in appointments and check availability using the current time as a dynamic variable in this case inside the LLM. And then from here, this is the customer information. So again, if we go back over to make.com right here, we can see that all these custom dynamic variables can now be implemented within the prompt, just like I was showing you back in the previous little module in Make. We can now implement these variables by doing a double curly bracket. So now the AI agent knows the customer's name, the customer's email, and the reason for their reaching out. So that's exactly how we can customize that conversation as well within inside the voice AI agent. And then from there, we have the task. So I like to follow steps in this case to make sure to prompt the AI agent properly, step by step, how to handle the conversation. So first of all, step 1 is going to be greeting the user. So greeting the lead and confirming the reason that they are reaching out using the dynamic variable for the reason. And then we'll use the reason to greet the user in a natural conversational way. So making sure it doesn't sound too robotic. And then from there, I've just given it a quick example on what to say. Again, maybe if you wanted to put this down within here, you could, but I like to put it within the steps. So the example would be, hey, name, so whatever the customer's name is to make it more personalized. This is Emily from Sunrise Legal just reaching out to you from the form you submitted with, a short summary of the reason. And then from there, it's going to move on to qualify the lead. So this is really useful in businesses like law firms to go ahead and qualify if these businesses are getting a ton of inbound inquiries via form. Our AI agent can go ahead and qualify all these leads. So this is exactly how I do this, and then I say based on the type, ask the specific questions below to see if they qualify. If they do not, politely end the call. And then from here, we just have a certain set of questions. So you can see in the demo, I was a family law matter. So it's going to ask these questions, and then it's only going to qualify, if it is in Australia, if they do not have a current lawyer, etc. Then I'll quickly just move my camera over here so you can see the rest of the prompt. And then from there, obviously, we've got all the different sets of criteria for the different types of law cases. From there, if they do qualify, it's then going to move on to the next step, which is a check availability step. So then I say, if the lead qualifies, offer to schedule a free consultation, and then ask for their preferred time and availability. And then I'll say, look, use the check availability tool, which is, in the function section here, which is what I'll get into, to find an open slot. Ensure when you send this time, you follow the ISO 861 format. In this demo, I won't be actually using it, and I'll explain what I mean later. You must always ensure that this time is in the future, so using the current time, which is another dynamic variable within Retell AI. If that time is unavailable, run the check availability tool to find another slot within 1 day. So this is essentially just telling the AI to find an available time within the calendar. And then also, if the time is unavailable that they've found, it's asking to check other times around that time to then suggest to the user. And then from there, once that confirmed time is agreed upon, it's then going to ask and finalize some of the details to make the booking. We can ask for the full name, email address, the reason. We can put this all within inside a calendar event. And then once we do confirm the details to the appointment, we must confirm that the appointment time is in a natural tone. I only say this because when we are sending information in ISO 861 format, sometimes the AI will respond and confirm a time within that format. So that's why I've just said that in here within the conversation, just to make sure it sounds in a natural conversational way. And it's, it's not saying the year, the month, and the date. And then from there, run the book appointment tool once you have confirmed the details with the inputs. And then from there, it's going to confirm the appointment and reassure. And then obviously you can see that I had an email on my phone. So that's all that's happening within that step 4 and step 5. And then after the tool confirms successful, confirm it with the lead and say, great, I've got you all booked in. You'll receive an email confirmation shortly. So that's exactly how we can guide the AI step by step using prompt engineering to make sure it conducts high quality conversations. Yeah, and then from there, I've given it a bit of context. So giving context to the AI is always good to let the AI know why it's creating a call or why it's getting a call. So I've just said that you will initiate an immediate follow-up system to a contact via a form submission, and then the goal is to engage potential customers. So again, reinstating that goal. And then from there, we have an example conversation. So the two key points of an example conversation is really to not only guide the AI step by step using an example conversation, but also let it know when to run the tools as well. So as you can see, I've mentioned and highlighted the tools in brackets right here to let the AI know when to run the tool. So that is kind of the point of the of the example conversation, is to guide the AI throughout the process when it's having a real conversation, let it know how to run tools, and then also make sure it's staying on track as well. And then from there, I've given it a little bit of notes right here. So I said, do not give legal advice. Make sure to always confirm the appointment, just some basic stuff with inside the prompt. Yeah, and that's exactly, how you can create that voice AI agent. And then one final thing that we are going to need is the function. So the functions to book the appointment and then check the availability. Now I'm going to be using cal.com, which is a scheduling software in this case, to show you exactly how this works. Obviously, in a real case, we would use the lawyer's systems or the lawyer's calendar systems that they already have integrated. But yeah, so this is going to be the check availability function. So again, making sure that tool name is the exact same within the prompt so the AI knows what specific tool to call. This just really helps the AI know how to call the tool and making sure it's the right tool. And then the description is when the users ask for availability, check the calendar and provide available slots. And then also we need the API key and then the event type ID. So I'll show you specifically how to get that. So head over to cal.com, just click go to app or sign up or log in if you already have a thing. And as we can see right here, I've got a bunch of different event types. Now to get the event ID, you'll need to go ahead and create a booking. So if you haven't created a booking already, go ahead and click create new booking and then click, in this case, obviously it's a law consultation. And then the event type ID, which is what you want, is going to actually be this number right here within inside the URL. So we can see right here, up here, that is going to be the event type ID using those little strings of numbers right there. Again, go ahead and just copy and paste that in right there to the event type ID. And then finally, we're going to need the API key. So fuck. What's going on? And again, we're going to need the API key now. So if we do that, we need to go ahead to head over to cal.com, select settings, API keys, and then literally just click add and then name it. So just do, whatever. And then Retell. Then click save or create, and then it's going to give you a key right there that you can just go ahead and paste. And that should just all work. We don't need to essentially schedule any times or variables or anything. I'm just using cal.com to show in a quick example. And then from there, we're going to need the book appointment. So again, using the exact same API key and calendar event ID that we can get right here up there. And then, yeah, obviously using the time zone right here. So again, it should be Australia, Brisbane, which is going to be my time zone in this case. And then the name is making sure we're the same exact tool name that we're using in the prompt as well. And then the description is obviously letting the AI know the purpose of this tool. So when the user wants to book an appointment, book it on the calendar right there. So then once we have those functions, it's now going to be able to create So yeah, once we have those functions, it's now going to be able to create a booking within inside the calendar system right here. So we can see, obviously, cal.com is connected to Google Calendar. So this is how it can show up within Google Calendar. But you can see right here, it's then created a booking within inside Google Calendar. So yeah, that's essentially how it can create those bookings within inside cal.com. And yeah, that's pretty much it, right? So yeah, that's exactly how you can build a voice AI agent for a law firm in this case. And of course, if you do want all these free templates, all the prompts that I used, the workflows and make everything that I've used, just feel free to go ahead and download it in the link in the description completely for free. And of course, if you are a business owner and you are looking to implement a voice AI system just like this, or you've got any questions about how AI can be useful within your business, feel free to book a completely free discovery call. And yeah, we'd be happy to answer any questions and talk to you. But without further ado, I'll see you in the next one.